Hey guys, it's Jimmy with Swiss Realty here. I am back with another video, and in today's video, we are going to go over the question that I get a lot from my investor clients. And that question is, does an older house mean it's a bad investment property? So I typically get a lot of clients that will say, I want to buy a new build house. I want to buy a house that's, built after 1960s. They say a lot of these things and they include it in their buying criteria. And what I will let you know is in this video, we're going to go over that question and kind of explore it a little bit more in depthly on if a house is like older, let's say older than 1950s, does it mean it's a bad investment property? So to give you the short answer to this question, I'm going to just let you know what the answer is. And the answer is no. Right off the bat, it's not just a bad property, and it doesn't mean you should just because it's an older house, it doesn't mean that you should just completely reject it right away from the get-go. And here's why it's not. So number one thing I'll do kind of is we're going to go over two different scenarios when it comes to houses. Okay, the first scenario is typically a house where it is obviously an older house, but the thing is the owner hasn't done any maintenance or updated the property in the last 40 years. So what that means is when they haven't updated in the last 40 years, they haven't done, anything to the property. So because of that, the roof is going to have leaks throughout. There's old electric and old plumbing. There's knob and tube throughout the basement or throughout the entire house. The plumbing is still cast iron drains, which again is completely outdated. The electric panel is a push-o-matic. There's old mechanicals like, old hot water tank, electric panel, furnace that they haven't updated in 20, 30 years. On top of that, too, they have plaster walls throughout, foundation and water issues in the basements. So this house is one of those houses where the owner hasn't pretty much done a single thing to the property and literally, just doesn't update it. He just basically defers a ton of maintenance for the last 30 plus years. So this is a house where, yes, if we see an investment property and it hasn't been updated or none of these, fixes have been completed in the last 30 plus years, this is something that will draw a lot of red flags. So that's, one scenario. The other scenario is house B right here, as we see right here. So house B is is a house where it was taken care of by a homeowner, someone who actually deeply cared about the property that they were living in. And they obviously updated the house throughout the years. So what that means is they routinely replaced the roof. They did maintenance checks when it came to the mechanicals like electric, plumbing. They updated electric and plumbing throughout, made sure there's no knob and tube, made sure everything was up to code and up to standards. On top of that, they updated the bathroom, the kitchen, and made sure that the house was in good shape. So someone like this will, has taken care of the property and has made numerous updates throughout the years. So there's kind of these two houses that we'll typically see when we're looking at investment properties. So what I will let you know is when it comes to house A, again, it doesn't mean it's a bad deal right from the get-go. It just means that we're going to have to budget significantly more for renovations. And for house B, yes, let's say house B was something that was built in the 1930s or 1920s, but the homeowner has consistently taken care of it, has updated electric, did all the things mentioned in this list right here. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal then if they consistently updated it for the most part in this situation. So again, what I would say from an investor's perspective is I would take house B 10 out of 10 times, even if it was an older house, as long as the owner, again, consistently updated most of these things, where it's not me, the person who's buying it, who has to come out of pocket for pretty much all these expenses. If I had to do everything right from the get-go, right when I purchased a property, yes, that would cost over $40,000, $50,000 easily right off the top. But again, if the homeowner mostly has taken care of most of these items, then obviously I'm not going to have to shell out as much money right from the get-go. So yeah, so what I would say, short answer pretty much is yes, if the owner has taken care of the property throughout the years, even if it's an older house, it can still make for an amazing investment property. And that's what I've helped tons of my clients do time and time again. But if it's house A in the situation, again, it doesn't mean something I would write write off right away. It just means that we would have to budget significantly more for the renovation. So going to the next part of this question, this is pretty much it. Is even if the house is older and the owner has completely deferred maintenance, we can still fix it. We can fix any issue that arises in a property. It just means that we will have to budget more for a bigger renovation. That's pretty much all it is. And what I will let you know, there's 2 points to this. Is number one, the investor agent that you work with should be able to consult accordingly and help you develop a scope of work and estimate renovations. So your investor agent, obviously, I'm sure you guys already know this, but he's the most important tool when it comes to your toolbox, in the sense that when he's walking these properties for you, he should be able to identify quite a few of these, issues. If he sees it when he's walking it, he should be able to tell you, hey, Mr. Buyer, just let you know, this house that we're looking at has potential foundation or subflooring issues. He should be able to tell you, hey, that's knob and tube right there. Hey, there seems like there's multiple water stains throughout the roof. He should be able to tell you quite a few of these things when he's walking the property for you. And because of that, before you even get into the under contract process, and before you even get paying a home inspection or a contractor or anything like that, your investor agent should be able to give you very valuable feedback to kind of let you know, hey, this is going to be something that the owner has consistently taken care of over the last few years, and it's only going to need some light cosmetics. Or he should be able to kind of let you know ahead of time when he's walking the property that pretty much this house is going to be a gut job, needs a complete renovation. So again, your investor agent, the one that you work with, he should be able to consult with you when it comes to renovations and developing a scope of work. He should be able to help with the entire process. So with that being said, so after your investor agent helps with that, and let's say you're okay with the renovation budget and you're okay with how everything looks, then if you were to get under contract on this property, that's when you would go through the inspection contingency. So what that means is after the inspection contingency, when it happens, you have 7 days after offer acceptance to do any due diligence you want on the condition of the property. So what that means is 7 days typically, here at least in Ohio, 7 days after offer acceptance, you can do any due diligence you want on the condition of the property, as long as as long as it's within that time frame. And what I always recommend is get a home inspection, get a contractor. If the renovation is big enough, get a contractor to get you an itemized bid for all the work is needed. Get as many second opinions as possible when it comes to, looking at the condition of the property to make sure you're fully okay with how the house looks. So after you've done all these steps and you've talked to your investor agent, you've gone through the inspection contingency and the home inspection and the contractor, and you've gotten multiple second opinions, only then, if you're comfortable with the condition of the property and the scope of work needed, then continue. But if you're not, you always have a way out, because again, the inspection contingency lets you terminate the contract if you feel like you're not satisfied with the condition of the property. So again, you have a way out as well too. But with that being said, again, just to summarize what we're talking about today, just to let you know, just because a house is 1920s, 1930s, or a 19s older house, it doesn't mean it's a bad investment property. If it does need a lot of work, it just means you have to budget for a bigger renovation. But again, if the property or the owner in the situation has consistently updated over the years and it just needs some light cosmetics, I would buy that 10 out of 10 times, even if it was a 1920s, 1930s property. So again, just because it's an older house, it doesn't mean it's a bad investment property. But aside from that, that was kind of, this video. Wanted to go over a quick overview on this question that I've gotten many, many times. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Aside from that, my name is Jimmy with Swiss Realty. I help investors buy their next buy and hold, BRRRR, flip, short-term, mid-term rental here in the Columbus, Ohio market. I've been doing this for quite a while. I've done over 20 million in terms of real estate sales in the last 2 years. So if you guys want to work with me, I would love to work with you. Definitely feel free to reach out to me in the link in this video below. But aside from that, thank you so much for watching the video today. Really appreciate it. And again, let me know if you have any other questions in the meantime. Thank you.